Where are there divides or divisions in your world? Ones that cause pain, confusion, or a troubling disconnect. The ones that are worth bridging. Whether they are in your professional or personal life, and whether the gap is around politics, religion, family history, or something else. Today is about the challenging yet powerful work of bridging divides. A topic that I've been exploring for years now. However, imperfectly. If you are ready to expand your capacity, deepen your skill set, and be a change maker, this episode is for you. This is The Growth Moment with your coach, Amy Kay. Inspiration, ideas, and incredible insights for you to be more and do more. Get ready to grow today. We all have divisions in our life. They can include religious or political differences, family estrangements, grudges and grievances in the workplace, or just everyday disagreements or misunderstandings. Any space can end up in an us versus them mentality. We humans are wired for both cooperation and confrontation. We are tribal by nature and often nurture, so discord comes with the territory. Sometimes separation is necessary or useful. It can clarify where you stand and help hold boundaries or accountability. However, divides can also create enormous destruction, difficulty, and even despair. Bridging divides has been a personal passion project and aspiration for many years now. Perhaps it's partly because of my age and stage, and that it's such a great growth zone. It's also because the volume of fractures or rifts have been particularly acute here in the U.S. These gaps have bled into the personal, impacting relationships, families, communities, and the country. The need to find common ground feels more and more urgent. So I feel obligated or called to explore this topic as a growth moment. It's a way that I can deepen my own bridging skills and hopefully help you with your own. We're going to explore the concept together, and I will share a few tips and tools that I have found personally useful. Take a moment to think about any divides that are affecting your life and perhaps blocking your goals or full potential. What might the ROI be if you were able to create a few bridges? Are you ready to grow in this area? Let's give it a try. The first thing to know is that it's often hard to bridge divides. It's so much easier to be secure in your circle or silo, taking solace from like minds, opinions, and values. Everyone nodding their heads, agreeing with what feels so obviously true. That is definitely a comfort zone. There is even a lovely dopamine hit. That reinforcement and validation is like a warm bath, chocolate chip cookies, a glow of satisfaction. I'm so right. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. In fact, we are wired to find safety in the familiar and pleasure in the echo chamber. But growth? That often requires tolerating discomfort and stretching into some cognitive dissonance. Facing the reality that this person or people that I work with, live with, even love, have fundamentally different opinions or beliefs on really important issues. What the heck? The brain almost short circuits. How can this be? We have true disagreements about key political policies or religious values or ethical situations. We wonder, can I be in relationship, partnership, or just cooperation without compromising my integrity? And of course, there might be a legitimate need to stand your ground. The other side of the divide might feel so toxic, dangerous, or evil that bridging is not your goal. However, if you do wish to explore more connection, stay with me. I want to share where my philosophy about bridging begins. I'm a big e pluribus unum girl. Out of many, one. It's been the United States national motto since 1776. But it's not just relevant for the U.S. or about politics. To me, it's a foundation for bringing any group of people together. Choosing to believe that diversity of thought, opinion, and experience creates strength. Not just surface level diversity, deep diversity. A commitment that we must acknowledge that each human is unique and multidimensional. And that is quite marvelous. We have the privilege of leveraging all of these differences, finding that indeed our whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This goes for politics, religion, companies, teams, families, you name it. This principle or belief helps sustain and carry me through the discomfort of crossing the chasms in my world. That is where it starts for me. When I feel overwhelmed by separation or discord, I come back to bridging the divide is important. We can create something powerful together. This is worth it. What about you? What might your motivation for creating connection be? Go ahead and jot down a few ideas or your own phrase. Maybe for you, it's not about e pluribus unum, but instead a desire for harmony and peace. The emotional cost and exhaustion of continuous discord is real. Or you can't achieve success staying on one side of the divide. You're stuck. So bridging will literally help you achieve your goals. Or the people involved are too important to leave behind. Ponder your motivation. When we come back, I want to share a few tips and tools. Okay, I'm going to share a few ideas for bridging divides. These are really just philosophies or approaches, nothing comprehensive or any kind of systematic process. There are plenty of books, courses, organizations, a degree in mediation. I'm not trying to replace all those wonderful resources. Let's keep it simple. I only want to share a few thoughts to help you get started. As always, take what is useful and toss the rest. Here are 6 pieces I keep coming back to. Seek first to understand, then be understood. This idea originally came from St. Francis and then later popularized by Stephen Covey. So simple. Shut your mouth. Listen. Learn. Not just waiting to push in with your beliefs or opinions, but truly striving to understand where someone is coming from and why. Then asking for that same grace for yourself. That's the bridge. You're crossing to the middle for a moment and learning from each other. Afterwards, you can go back to your side if you wish. Another one. Ask, don't assume. I guess that's an addendum to seek first to understand, but I think it deserves its own spotlight. I say this to my clients all the time. Did you ask, or are you just assuming? You can use it for all occasions, but it's especially useful in chasm crossing. Real deal curiosity, open mind, and heart. Perhaps I should have led with this next one. It's almost a precursor to, or first step. Pause, breathe, speak with intention. Less blurting or reactivity. Mindful, not mindless. Slowing things down works wonders and helps you create space for a bridge. This next one is fundamental. The old phrase, we can agree to disagree. Bridging divides is not about convincing or persuading. It's not about who wins. It is about hanging out, comfortable with the fact that we absolutely are not going to agree. Instead, we get to be okay with standing together on the bridge, acknowledging that we see things differently, and that actually it's kind of cool. Now, try this one. Stand your ground while creating common ground. A great both and. I use this often. It comes from a great bridge builder, Irshad Manji, and her organization Moral Courage. The idea that everyone can stand solidly on their ground, honoring their opinions, beliefs, and values, while at the same time checking out where there might be commonality. Again, not to come to agreement or consensus, but instead to see where there might be underlying shared principles or at least expanded perspective. And finally, here is a new one I've been playing with, very e pluribus unum. The idea that we need the differences. It's actually vital to have a whole bunch of people around the table, that maybe each one of us has a critical piece of the puzzle. Our job is to bring our opinion or perspective, put it on the table, and then step back while everyone else adds their pieces. Respect for the diversity and trust that all of the pieces come together for a bigger solution that we can't quite see yet. This applies to any bridging efforts: politics, religion, family stuff, work stuff. Those are my 6 today. Notice if 1 or 2 caught your attention or intrigued you. Jot them down to explore further on your own. I listed them in the show notes if you need to refresh your memory. See how you might use any of the concepts in your growth. I'm practicing on a weekly, if not daily basis. For example, I'm part of an organization called Braver Angels. They work to bridge divides in the U.S., primarily political, geographic, and generational. Through Braver Angels, I have been doing a monthly conversation across the political divide with a wonderful fellow human for the last few years. We ask questions. We take a deep breath and take turns listening to what we believe, why we believe it, and where we question our own beliefs. We neither expect nor need to agree. It's a super safe space to learn more about, quote, the other side. We both trip out that we have very similar hopes and fears, but coming almost from the opposite side of the mirror. I've learned and grown immeasurably from this experience. I have more humility, compassion, and understanding even while I stand my ground on core issues and approaches. I also try to walk my talk in personal situations, painful places where misunderstandings, mistakes, and heated moments have created fractures in important relationships, where everyone has gone to their corners or far side of the divide. What gives me the courage to yell across the gap, "Hey, do you want to try and talk? Should we give it a go?" is the ease of the ask, not assume, that I know we can agree to disagree, that I can lean in and just listen at first. The promise that a bridge might be possible. That's what makes the effort worth my while. Sometimes it's the smallest gesture. I just sent a text to someone that feels out of reach, too far gone. They haven't written back, but it's not really about them. It's about how I choose to show up. But know this, I fall short probably 70% of the time. I run to my comfort zone, pulling it around me like a blanket. Let me read another article that affirms my position. Spend more hours listening and talking to only the like-minded. Revel in my momentary righteousness. That other person is so out of line. I say stupid things. I'm not my best self. I get caught up in creating even more distance. Bridging the divide requires a big push into your growth zone. It can feel cold at first, a little lonely and vulnerable, even scary. But then there is freedom. It can be incredibly liberating to stand on the bridge, embracing that we don't see this the same way at all. Fascinating instead of frustrating. Horizons expanding. Perspective enhanced. Possibilities abounding. Of course, it's easier when other people also want to practice and play in this arena, but I'm good to go it on my own as well. Okay, a few closing thoughts when we come back. I believe there is room on the bridge for all of us. not necessarily needing to cross over to the other side, but perhaps to stand and enjoy the view together. Or maybe we can go back and forth, visiting each other's perspectives, learning new things, and bringing them back home to share. As I read recently, e pluribus unum is not a natural state. It's an act of continual commitment, a willingness to be in relation even when we differ. Connection, not necessarily agreement, creates the possibility for change. But beware the inner tyrant, the certainty that we are the righteous ones and everyone else is lost. Be willing to face your own inner divide, your conflicting opinions, to claim the space to consider other ideas instead of only defending your own. There may come a time when someone on the other side of the gap needs your kindness more than your alignment. If I helped start the process to bridge even one divide today, I am so happy. You have given me the opportunity to explore, deepen my commitment, and walk more of my talk. I challenge you to start building a bridge, big or small, a relationship that matters, a topic that is important to you, a situation that deserves transformation. Contemplate your motivation. Find a way to practice, listen, and learn. Remember that each person is more than your differences. Don't flatten them to one dimension. They contain multitudes. Be brave. You can do hard things. And I'm happy to share more of what I've experienced through my desire to be a living example of the bridges I wish to build, and always know that I am here for your growth moment, whether it's one-on-one private coaching or joining one of my coaching groups or workshops. Find all the episodes on thegrowthmoment.com and subscribe, follow on your favorite podcast or on my YouTube channel. Now get out there and grow today.